Hi, welcome back to Pathfinder adventure card game. Last time we left Hask here at the cathedral. I think he just revealed an invisibility spell. Valeros and Linny here at the Rusty Dragon. Just before we get started, viewers did point out one mistake. Thank you ever so much. When Linny defeated the Goblin Raider has the Goblin trait, of course, and that means because of the scenario special rule, if you defeat a monster with the Goblin trait, roll 1d6 on 1. Each character at your location takes 1 fire damage. So that was the only mistake we made. There were a few comments about things I might have done differently and perhaps some powers I missed, but no rules mistakes per se. Let's roll our 1d6 and see if those guys did actually take some damage. No, we're good. Okay. Alright, I feel like we've kind of squared things up a little bit now. So it's Valeros' turn. Let's see if we can't get him into the action a little bit. I don't think he's got any cards to share. Perhaps this sword. Could give this to Linny. No, she's not very proficient with weapons. I might use its discard ability. Right, let's head off somewhere else. I think Valeros should go to the city gate. Alert and capable guards hold their posts, questioning visitors and checking cargo at this fortified entry. Between the guards stand strong gates and a sturdy portcullis. The wood and steel of these solid barriers showing scratches and scores acquired while defending against unwelcome strangers, would-be invaders, and worse. There are a couple of monsters here, and when closing we have to summon and defeat a bandit henchman. Yeah, Valeros I think is the man. Let's have Valeros explore. A monster. Looks pretty mean. An awful looking plague zombie. The plague zombie is immune to the mental and poison traits. If undefeated, banish the plague zombie, and each character at this location must succeed at a Constitution or Fortitude 6 check. Hey, we don't want to reveal that. We're going to kill this thing. First off, we're going to use our bastard sword to give us strength or melee plus 1d10. Okay. Valeros's melee is strength plus 3. His strength is 1d10 plus 1, of course, because of our level up. So that will be 1d10 plus 4 for melee. 1d10 plus 4. 1d10 plus 4. And the sword was melee die plus 1d10. That's another d10. I might actually switch this out and use the scimitar. Roll, it's still melee, but this time it's 1d6 instead of 1d10. And you may discard this card to add another 1d6 plus 1. If you aren't proficient with weapons, the difficulty of this check is increased by 4. Valeros is proficient with weapons. Why don't we use the scimitar instead? We can't use 2 weapons. What I'm thinking, the sword is great, the bastard sword, but it's two-handed, and what that means is the wooden shield. And this zombie is quite tough to beat. We need combat 11. It says we can't use the shield if we are using a two-handed weapon. So let's use the scimitar. Let's take away this d10. We'll discard the scimitar. So we're going to kind of swing it in with such ferocity that we damage the weapon, perhaps. That's the intention. But Valeros has a special power. He says that when we play a weapon, we may recharge it instead of discarding it. So the scimitar goes under here. 11 off these dice. We do have some blessings. I think Linny's got one. Yep. We could use Hask's ability, recharging a card. I could recharge the Amulet of Life. Add a d4. Nah, let's keep on with it. Let's risk it. Come on, this is what this game's about. Pushing your luck. Okay, I need 7 off these 3 dice. We have 9, 10, 11. Hey, we didn't even need the +4. Got 15. Now we'll do it. Plague Zombie, you're out of here. And we can't explore again. No, that's it. We're done, I think. Valeros has finally shown his worth. So let's draw back up to 4 cards. A Mattock. A Mattock's a tool, and it helps us with non-combat strength checks. And it helps us with barriers. So that might come in handy. There is one barrier here. So let's see. Linny's turn. I don't think she's got anything she wants to share or use. No, we've got a couple of cures. I'm not ready to use them. I mean, we could use them now and get these 4 cards back, but the thing is, if Valeros ends up taking a beating, I might want to use these cures on Valeros. The thing is, if you go over your hand limit, my hand limit's 5, so if I get this spell, don't use any cards, maybe I could use the Blessing of the Gods. If I don't use any cards, then I have to discard a card anyway. Okay, let's use the cure now. Let's use this cure before we explore. Reveal this card, choose a character at your location, shuffle 1d4 plus 1 random cards from his or her discard pile into their deck and discard this card. Let's choose Linny herself. And we roll 1d4. Now, this isn't a check. It just says shuffle 1d4 plus 1 random cards. This isn't a check, so we can't use any powers or anything. It's just a number of cards. Yeah, 1 seemed to be a dominant presence in this game. We rolled a 1, so that means 1 plus 1, 2. We got 2 cards back into our deck. Okay, let's see what we get. 1, 2. And they go shuffle 1d4 plus 1 random cards into your deck. And then discard. So these are going to get shuffled in. And now we've got a chance to recharge the cure. It says succeed at a Divine 8 check to recharge instead of discarding. We have Divine. It is our Wisdom plus 1. Divine Wisdom plus 1. That's D10 plus 1. And we can, this time, this is a check, so we may reveal an ally with the animal trait to add 1d4 to our check. So we are revealing the dog, an ally with the animal traits. We're rolling our divine, 1d10 plus 1. So here's our plus 1, and then we're adding a d4, and we're after an 8 to recharge instead of discarding the cure. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. Just missed, close. So discard pile for that one. Okay, now let's have a crack at this spell. Okay, so it's Intelligence Arcane 6. Linny's Intelligence is 1d6 plus 1, and I'll reveal the dog because we're doing a check. So 1d6, 1d4 plus 1. Okay, 1d6 and 1d4 plus 1. I'm looking for 6, so 5 off the dice. Oh yes, we got it. That'll do. 4, 5, 6. Invisibility is ours. Excellent. Good work, Linny. Now, if I can, I'd quite like to explore again, especially with a cure in my hand. Do I want to discard the dog or the Blessing of the Gods? I think the Blessing of the Gods. So you can see why Blessing of the Gods is a really useful card to have around. It's got this multiple powers. You can only use one, obviously. So we're going to discard the card to explore our location. Okay. It also has an ability to copy the top card of the Blessing deck, but that's also a Blessing of the Gods at the moment. Okay, let's explore, and if it's a nasty monster I can always go invisible. Let's see what we get. It's the villain, Rip Nugget and Stickfoot. There he is, there's our bad guy. That's the guy we've got to try and take down. This is This has generated a very interesting situation right now. If I fight and defeat the villain, then I can immediately close this location. If we defeat the villain, then he doesn't die, he just escapes. Okay? So what we'll do is then Rip Nugget and Stickfoot is gonna run to any open locations. So we've not really gained very much. Before you encounter the villain, so before Linny takes on Rip Nugget and Stickfoot, we can, if we wish, have any of our other characters temporarily close one of the other open locations. So we could have Valeros temporarily, or try to temporarily close the city gates, so we know then that he's here. The way we win the game is if all locations are closed, we encounter the villain and defeat him, then he'll have nowhere to escape to and we win. But can she therefore evade the villain? If we choose to evade Rip Nugget and Stickfoot, what that means is he'll get shuffled back into this deck. We'll know that Rip Nugget and Stickfoot are in the cathedral. This might be our best option, because what that means then is we can go off and close these locations or position, or to close one of them and position ourselves here to temporarily close the other. We do have to beat this guy twice, so it makes sense to have two characters here. That's the other thing. If you look at Rip Nugget and Stickfoot, this is Linny's encounter, and it says check to defeat. And there's two. We have to defeat it twice. First, we have to defeat Stickfoot in combat, a combat 9 check. And then defeat Rip Nugget in combat 10. But as I understand it, Linny has to only do at least one of these. If she's on her own, she'll have to do both. But if there is a companion here, then the companion can help and do the other. So I think it's pretty clear there's no benefit to be gained from trying to defeat this guy now, because he's just going to disappear off again. Let's try and evade him with our invisibility spell. In fact, I'm pretty sure Linny's got two options here, because she's got Sanctuary. Oh, I think Sanctuary is even better. Discard this card to choose a character at your location, myself, Linny, to evade a monster. Yeah. So Rip Nugget and Stickfoot is a type of monster. Put that monster on top of the location deck. Even better, if you do not have the divine skill, banish this card. She does. Linny has divine wisdom +1. Yeah, Sanctuary. Nice one. And then we can even try and recharge this. It's a divine 8 check. Discard this card to choose a character to evade a monster. Put that monster on top of the location deck. Even better. We know where Rip Nugget and Stickfoot is. They're there. This is looking sweet. Okay, our divine is wisdom. Wisdom +1, so that's D10 +1. This is just recharge. The spell's worked. We've cast it. We're just trying to recharge it now. We need 8. So wisdom +1. That's a D10 +1. And we'll reveal an ally. Our dog with the animal trait to get a D4 as well. So we need 7. We've got the +1 off these 2 dice. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that'll do it. Good rolling, Linny. Sanctuary is recharged. Hey, I don't know, guys. That feels like a slam dunk. I think we've done good. Linny, you're ending your turn there. I need to draw 2 cards. 1, 2. We've got a potion of energy resistance and a strength spell. Okay.